Hi, my name is John Montserrat. I'm working with Michael Lewis on the Global Secular Calendar, or whatever the name is that we're going to choose for it someday with your help. If you saw the last video, then you already saw me go through story 1, 2, and 3, which shows how the Global Secular Calendar might work and how to customize it and install it into a website. In this video, I'll go through story 4 and 5, which discuss how the Global Secular Calendar team can do outreach, finding new groups and adding them to the system, and then allowing them to claim and take over their own listing if they want to. The entire slideshow is intended to be a mock-up, and the colors and the fonts are not going to be the final design, so don't worry about that. If you want to go through this yourself, just go to eventsinsider.com/secular. Let's proceed to story 4. Here's the start of story 4. You'll notice at the top of every slide is a black bar, which contains information about the slide being displayed. On the top left, you'll see forwards and backwards arrows that you can use to move through the slideshow. Let's proceed to figure 401. So this story involves Priya. Priya is a volunteer or an employee for the Global Secular Calendar, and she decides to find some more groups to add to the database. So Priya does a Google search for Texas secular groups and discovers the Atheist Association of Texas. Notice the yellow arrow. These yellow arrows will show you where to click to go forwards in the slideshow if you don't want to use the black bar. So she clicks on this and sees the Atheist Association of Texas website. Here's the home page. She clicks Calendar, and of course that shows her the calendar on this website, which in this case is a Google Calendar. So this is a generic calendar which is designed by Google to allow people to list events. And I'm sure that you've seen many of these in other websites. Now that she's done discovering this new group, she wants to add it to the Global Secular Calendar. So I'm going to go to the home page next. Please note the home page is really meant to be a mock-up. The design, the color, the fonts, that's all up in the air right now. And we look forward to your feedback. Before inserting this new group into the database, Priya wants to check to make sure that it's not already there. So here Priya types in Austin, Texas as the location. She types in atheist and she selects group. So here she's performing a search. She clicks submit and she gets some results. Now you've seen a similar screen before in the last video. This is a search of groups, not a search for events, but the look and feel are intentionally similar. At the top, you'll find a search bar looking for events or for groups. Notice that because Priya put in Austin, it's automatically set to Austin, Texas. And because she put in atheist, it's automatically set to atheist groups. You can look for type of group, and she looks down and discovers that, sure enough, the one that she found, the Atheist Association of Texas, is not there. So she decides to add it using this button at the bottom right. Don't see your group? Add it now. Now on this page, Priya is asked to enter some very basic information about the group. And she also clicks that she found this. She's not one of the leaders of this group. She clicks to submit the group, and another check is performed, just to make sure the group does not exist in the database already. She doesn't see it, so she clicks to add the group for real. This time the system asks her to log in, and then she's given a page to edit the group. So here she puts in the full name, the location, and she also adds some public contacts. She notices that back on the original website that Katya was listed as one of the leaders. So since that's public, she's putting it in the public contacts box. Of course, many groups have no public contacts, but even then, we ask that there be private contacts entered, just so that we administrators can contact, if we need to, the groups involved. Down below, Priya fills in the website, but she also puts in the events calendar. And she checks off that this group runs every event that's listed on its website calendar. Or she could uncheck it, which would mean that the group lists lots of events, but doesn't run them all. When she's done, the group is then displayed for her. And because she's an admin, it shows her the admin edit. If she wants to, she can go back and edit this because she's logged in with admin privileges. This is the end of the story for Priya, so I'm going to log her out and continue to somebody new. Now I'm going to start a new story with someone named Jose. Jose is also a volunteer or an employee of the Global Secular Calendar. But unlike Priya, whose job is pretty basic, just finding new groups and adding them to the database, Jose's job is actually to make contact with all these groups. So Jose begins by logging in. He's then brought to a search page. Now on this page, Jose can search for groups. In this case, he wants to search for groups that have not been contacted. So these are groups that don't have any kind of owner established in the database yet. So he does a search using these admin settings for a group that needs an owner, which you can see here where the mouse cursor is. He clicks go, and only one search result comes up. This is the only group in the database that needs to have contact made. It's the Atheist Association of Texas, the group that Priya just found. So Jose clicks on this and is brought to a details page where he can see information about this group, including the events, because the system has automatically grabbed these events from the Google Calendar of the Atheist Association of Texas website. So these events are filled in automatically with no data entry, no typing. Because Jose is an admin, he gets this box on the right with special admin features, such as editing the group, or in this case, because unlike Priya, Jose has some extra privileges, he can email the leaders. Jose clicks on email leaders and gets a form letter which he modifies to fit. Hello, Katya. I noticed that you're having events. I work for the Global Secular Calendar. Won't you please check out your profile to make sure that we haven't made any mistakes? At the bottom, he clicks send. He can, if he likes, also put comments in the admin comments box. Notice this gray area, which is meant just for admins, that nobody else can see this, not even the group owner. But in this case, that is not necessary. Jose is done, so he logs out. That's the end of story 4. So that's how the team at the Global Secular Calendar might do outreach to groups. Let's go on to story 5. This story is about Katya, who, as you recall, is the leader of the Atheist Association of Texas. In story 5, Katya gets an email from Jose, and this is how she creates an account, takes ownership of her group, and looks at the group events. So here's an example of the email that Jose may have sent to Katya. Katya receives the email, she's intrigued, and she clicks on the link, which automatically logs her in. This is the home page for Katya. She's seeing a page which is custom tailored to her. And it says, as far as we know, you're the leader of 2 different groups. Now, Katya used to work for the Tri-State Secularists, but she has since graduated, and she doesn't work for that college group anymore. So she clicks Not Mine, which gets rid of that group in this page. The system asks Katya to put in a comment, and she types in a comment about someone else who runs the group now. Katya then clicks Done, and the association is now gone. Katya does lead the Atheist Association of Texas, and here she can click I lead this to confirm that. But she's a little skeptical, so she wants to look at the listing first. So here she clicks on the name of the group, and is brought to the same details page that we saw in story 4. She likes the listing. She's surprised that we have all the events. That's pretty cool. And sure enough, in the box on the right says, do you lead this group? And she clicks to claim the group. So she's now confirming that she's one of the leaders of this group. She's asked to create an account. We already have her email, although if she wants to, she can change it. And we already have her first name because Priya typed it in. But she's asked to choose a password, which she does, and she clicks Submit. So here she's brought to a page where she can edit the group. There were quite a few fields that Priya did not feel comfortable typing in, so here Katya is doing it. She's adding a blog URL, she's adding a Facebook URL. She confirms that every event the group runs is held in the same city. She adds a tagline, she adds a photograph, and then she clicks done. And she's shown the details page again. Notice that the completion bar has now progressed. The page is no longer 25% complete, now it's 80% complete. Katya now notices that on the events bar, there's a movie night, and she's curious to see more about that, so she clicks more info, and is shown a details page. Sometimes the system is not going to be entirely sure whether a listing taken from Google Calendar is owned and run by the group or is simply being listed, because plenty of groups list one another's events. But in this case, Katya's group does run the event, so she clicks to claim the event. And she's given a page where she can edit information. Notice that only some fields are editable. She can, if she likes, add a venue, which she does, Hathaway House. She can also select the kind of activity, which of course is movie. And she can select a philosophy such as atheist. It says this event was automatically collected from the Google Calendar on your page. If you really want to change this, go back to your Google Calendar and change it there. Or if she prefers, she can click Edit this directly. So Katya clicks Save to save the changes that she did make, and now she goes to her own Google Calendar. So now she's outside the global secular calendar system. She's using her own Google Calendar. So here she changes the name of the event. Instead of AAT Movie Night, she makes it Movie Night at the Atheist Association of Texas, and she clicks Save. The next time that the Global Secular Calendar performs data collection, it notices and changes the title to being what Katya wanted it to be. This is the end of Story 5 and the end of this presentation. We're looking forward to your comments and feedback. Again, the web address is eventsinsider.com/secular.